We begin on a military base somewhere in these here United States. Did you know if you switch two letters it comes out untied states? That sounds a little more accurate these days. Anyway.
Hey, Lieutenant Banks! Want to lift home?
Hey, thanks, Sam.
I have to make one stop, sir, at the dump. Won't take but a minute.
No problem. The bus makes a lot more stops than that.
You know it.
Once again, we see the show doing one of the things it did best, giving new up-and-comers a chance to shine. Sergeant Sam is played by Michael Aldridge. He had been working his way into character acting for about 3 years and was just starting to get noticed. Lieutenant Jerry Banks. This is Tom Steckschulte's very first TV appearance. There's not much information about either of them. Both went on to have steady careers. Right now, neither of them has any idea how much this trip is going to affect them.
You know, for an officer, you're okay, sir.
Thank you, Sam. Looks like this one came unglued.
How's this valve working now, sir?
Just a little aerosol.
Stuff's supposed to be lousy on the environment.
We can guess it ain't aerosol. They think nothing of it.
Well, Carrie, your roses are looking beautiful.
Hi, David.
Hi.
It's 6:15 already?
Oh, you can set your watch by me.
Who needs a watch? You're always right on time. Don't you ever stop to have a beer with the boys?
You might recognize Lee Bryant, but you're not sure where from. Let me jog your memory.
I can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here.
Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
That put her on the map, and she was in good demand thereafter.
Well, as the star boarder of the Banks family household, I have to watch my activities very carefully.
David, you promised to help me finish the go-kart.
Patty, David just got home. Now, the go-kart can certainly wait until he's had a...
You promised.
It's true, Mom, I promised.
You're spoiling her, you know.
Well, you and Jerry and Patty have made me feel like I'm part of the family, and it's been a long time since I've had that feeling.
They consider him part of the family. They've basically adopted the poor lost waif, and he returns the favor tenfold every chance he gets. And he did promise Patty that he'd help her with her go-kart.
Look, Dad, it's almost finished.
Oh, you two better hurry up. The Indy 500's next month.
Oh, I'm not sure, but I think we're holding out for an invitation to the Grand Prix, right, Patty?
Right.
Well, in the meantime, you better go in and get washed up. Dinner's almost ready.
Dad.
Oh, Dan.
Come on, Pumpkin.
I don't often profile the kids, but I found Michelle Stacy interesting. She started acting at 6. She was popular and appeared in several shows and movies from 1974 to 1980. She appeared in Airplane alongside Lee Bryant as the little girl with the coffee cup, and then she quit acting. That was it. She walked away from it. What she's been doing since, I couldn't find. She could just be taking it easy and living off what she made acting. I mean, how many people can say they retired at 12? David is realizing he fell into something really good here. This family could remind him of a Norman Rockwell painting.
Lousy bulbs out again.
He can't see the lights. He got up because he can feel that there's something wrong with his eyes. If they turn white, then we have a new wrinkle this season. David's problem is contagious.
No. Help. Carrie. David. Help me.
David will try to take care of the cuts as best he can, but they get into the hospital for a complete checkup. David may be a doctor, but he's often not at liberty to tell everything he knows. And besides, he doesn't have his house call bag.
How is he, Major?
His vital signs are good. And there are no fractures.
When can he come home?
Not right away, I'm afraid. His vision was affected by the trauma of the fall.
His eyes are hurt?
Fortunately, the visual impairment was not caused by the broken glass.
I don't understand it. Are you saying that Jerry's blind?
It's just a temporary condition.
David has a little problem with the diagnosis because Jerry tells him and Carrie that he fell through the window because he couldn't see it. He was already blind before the fall.
Jerry, did you tell that to the doctor?
Tried to. You're too busy sewing me up. Hey, David, thanks.
Yeah.
Jerry, everything's gonna be all right.
It'll be fine. Everything fine.
I think the sedation is sedating. They need to go home and rest.
Sam Stanley. He gave Jerry a ride home today. What happened?
Accident. Witnesses said he went right through a guardrail and a sign, road closed, bridge out. Sam was the best wheelman in the post. I can't figure it. It's like he was blind or something.
Mostly because we'll find out that he was. But Sam's case is a little worse than Jerry's.
Poor Sam. Everybody thought he was a hard-nosed lifer, but he wasn't.
Did he drink?
Not even a beer.
You get the feeling Sam was a genuinely nice guy who was genuinely in the service to serve. Those guys don't drink and drive. Apparently Sam didn't even drink and walk, or drink and sit, or drink.
David, he just said that it was as if Sam was blind. Could that have anything to do with what happened to Jerry?
Carrie, can you get home all right?
Are you coming?
There's something I want to do first.
We don't know what it is yet because we shift gears. We're in the commanding officer's office.
Good morning, Major.
Good morning, sir.
Well, you don't look as if you got much sleep last night, Major.
Colonel, I didn't get any sleep last night.
Oh, sit down there. Sergeant Merklin, a drink for the Major?
No, thank you. I don't want to drink. Have you heard about Lieutenant Banks?
Yes, he crashed through a glass door and cut himself up pretty badly. A nasty accident.
He said he was blind before the accident. And a half hour later, Sergeant Sam Stanley drove his truck off the top of Eagle Mountain. Now, I'm not stupid enough to believe that these two incidents are unrelated.
We're learning that they do chemical weapons research at this place. They all know what caused the situation, and they know how.
Sergeant Sam Stanley was filling in on a disposal detail yesterday. He transported his last load approximately 20 hours. Lieutenant Banks was in the truck with Sergeant Stanley hitching a ride home.
So you see, there were only two people involved in the problem.
Problem? One man is dead and another dying.
Well, we can't be certain of that,
Oh,
Major.
yes, we can. The laboratory animals exhibited the same symptoms. Blindness, deterioration of the nervous system, and death.
The sergeant continues.
One of the X-202 empty canisters was thrown away along with the material that was marked for disposal. It wasn't quite empty. The non-comer was responsible has been transferred to one of our research units in Greenland as a private.
That does Jerry a lot of good, doesn't it? They've been working on an antidote without success. The doctor asks to double his research staff, even though he knows it'll be too late for Jerry. But Jerry isn't important. Neither is Sam.
Yeah, well, see, I never asked to command this chemical research post, but you know my problem with Washington. Now that I've finally served my penance, I expect to get that general star. Now, I'm leaving in 6 weeks, and I don't want anything to delay that departure.
Future General Drake is the one that's important. I would say just ask him about it, but don't do that. He'll kill your whole day explaining it. There's a very good chance you have better things to do. David is talking with Jerry. Jerry just got the news about Sam.
I fall through a glass door and Sam drives off a cliff. Contagious blindness?
What else then, Jerry? You and Sam were together yesterday. Now, did you come straight home from the base?
The yellow canister. David, it has to be it. The canister was leaking.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Sam and I dropped some gear off at the dump. One of the canister's valves was damaged, leaking. I thought it was just reserve aerosol.
What else could it have been?
Does David not know what they do here? He says we have to report this to somebody. Jerry says that's no good. It'll get tied up in military red tape and never get to someone who can do something. And besides, nobody'll listen.
Research people don't like to admit they've made a mistake.
Your doctor will listen.
I tried to tell Major Anderson I was blind before the accident. He told me I was confused. Look, David, Army doctors are still in the Army, just like me. They gotta follow the chain of command like everybody else, and that means red tape. David, you've got to help. If you could find that canister, then they have to listen.
He has David borrow his gas mask and go look for it in that pit. What could possibly go wrong? Since it's yellow and everything around it is barn paint red, it's not hard to spot. No, I don't know what the barn paint red stuff is, and I don't care. Incidentally, the colonel sent his sergeant on the same mission. I guess he's trying to bury it instead. He drops another load of dirt and junk, but this one is moving. And now he's going to have to bury that thing all over again, assuming he can get his hands on it. I guess all the sergeant had to do was ask. While he heads out to someplace remote and buries it for real this time, the Hulk is wandering around and he's come upon something interesting.
All right, hustle, move it, hustle! Come on, get the ladder! Come on, move it! All right, let's move it! What's wrong with you? Somebody tie your shoelaces together? No, I'm saying move it, and I mean it!
Who's he?
Watch out, hear me? Or are you deaf and slow?
Rubik! Mihailovich!
Think he's non-com?
Either that or a secret weapon.
Get your tails over here!
Boy, I ain't waiting to find out.
You're holding up the entire unit. Now move it!
It's comedy relief time. And by the way, guys, you forgot the tires. He's gonna dock you for that.
Well, Brubeck, come home! The hell with it! You got them! Now move it, Brubeck! I'm gonna have you on KP all week! There, go! I said you move it! Hey! Good Lord!
It's no wonder one of Dennis Fimple's nicknames was Snaggletooth. He made it work for him like he's doing here. We've only seen him one other time, an uncredited part in Manimal. Looking through his credits, I didn't see any forthcoming shows, which is too bad. He was a good actor. He was killed in a car accident in 2002, a few months before his 62nd birthday. Which means the Hulk didn't get him today, and he lives to run away another day. Wait, is that how that goes?
Colonel, I can't do anything more for Lieutenant Banks except sedate him. His vital signs are deteriorating. Sir, you realize this man is going to die.
Sergeant Merklin has found the canister and disposed of it.
All covered up.
Yeah, the doctor is having a problem with that part. But the colonel has made it clear that 2 men don't matter, only 2 stars. One for each of his shoulders. Although with his ego, he might demand one for his forehead, too.
Let's go take a rest, Sergeant.
All covered up. He's right. And we're all in it.
All together. Including you, Major. Right up to your oak leaves.
Blow the whistle, Doctor. Put a stop to this project before someone else gets hurt. Speaking of which...
I'll meet you in Jerry's room, okay? It was right where Jerry Banks told me to look for it. Yellow canister, unmarked as far as I could tell. I was going to take it straight to the colonel.
Excuse me for interrupting, Mr. Blair, but what made Jerry, Lieutenant Banks, connect his illness to that particular canister?
Well, he remembered the canister coming open when he was at the dump with Sergeant Stanley. Now, of course, Sam had his accident, and Jerry's here, and...
This information is very important, Mr. Blair. I wish you'd have come to me sooner.
He didn't know anything sooner. Duh! He came to you as quickly as he could.
You stay right here. I've got to get some wheels rolling. I'll be back in just a minute.
This guy is as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, as my dad used to say. Be suspicious, David. He may have forgotten that he was exposed right before the thing with the dirt. The change does mess with his memory. By the time the doctor comes back, he's totally blind.
Look left. Straight ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Blair.
Are the optic nerves affected? Is it nerve gas?
He says that is what you do here, find creative and more horrible ways to kill people, right? Okay, I may have paraphrased a bit.
Are you working on an antidote?
Yes.
The one I saw written on the blackboard.
That's classified information. I'm afraid we can't...
Yes, Mr. Blair, the formula.
With respect, Colonel, sir, shut up. The doctor's eyes are daring the colonel to oppose him. You see who won.
I think you're using the wrong approach.
What?
I wasn't aware that you were a scientist.
I know a great deal about metabolism. The substance we were exposed to, I think you'll find, has altered our basal metabolism.
His change to the Hulk is all about metabolism. That's why in Hulk form he can survive most poisons. His accelerated metabolism breaks them down before they can do any damage. Inside his liver there are these green blood cells. When they see a poison molecule, they run up to it and go, Hulk smash!
But it was never intended to. It's a weapon, purely defensive, not a nerve gas. Merely a mixture intended to disable. There is no way.
Doctor, what you intended and what actually happened is not the point. I think the cure, the antidote, is in the metabolism. If you could increase it to 20 or 30 times normal.
Mr. Blair.
I just think you should try it, that's all.
We're going to do everything we can to make you comfortable.
Colonel, forgive me, but I'm the one that's blind. Why won't you listen to me?
I think we know the answer.
All covered up.
Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Escort Mr. Blair to room 316.
He says that as though there's something special in room 316. Oh, I hope it's balloons.
No visitors.
Yes, sir.
I'll bet that means no balloons either. David keeps asking if he's under arrest, but the MPs won't answer him.
Then we both realized that maybe it was that canister at the dump yesterday. It was yesterday, wasn't it?
But how can something like this happen? Jerry, I can't believe that.
David, did he mention it? Where is he anyway?
He was supposed to meet me here. That was over an hour ago. I'll go look for him, okay?
That's good because there are several reasons why he can't look for you.
Am I under arrest?
I just follow orders. You better stay put until they decide what to do with you, mister.
Well, I'm not a prisoner, I'm a patient.
Those guys being two of the reasons. Dr. Davis from radiology comes breezing into the room, shows the guards an order signed by Major Anderson to take David to X-ray, and away they go. May I say, Carrie is amazing. She's devoted and resourceful. And what Bernie Rodenbar said is true. If you carry a clipboard and look like you know what you're doing, you can go anywhere and nobody will challenge you.
Where's Blair?
He's down getting x-rays, sir.
X-rays? Who ordered them?
The major, sir. I saw the order signed by him, sir.
Who took him out of here, soldier?
Dr. Davis.
Colonel?
That's what her nameplate said, sir. I mean, Sergeant.
Lock down the base. Nobody in or out. The sirens sound and Carrie knows what they mean.
They'll shut all the gates. You gotta get out of here, David.
Just get up, ma'am. Slow, please.
The doctor knows it's no good questioning her. By now, she doesn't know where David is. As it happens, neither does he. They have a helicopter in the air, and the colonel and company are searching in a half-track. Carrie told David to get to the fence and she'd pick him up on the back road. He's wandered into her training ground. I don't think that's where the fence is. The sign that he couldn't see said Chemical Weapons Training Ground. Since we probably don't want to kill our trainees with the real stuff, that's just tear gas. Or should I say, ouch, that's tear gas. During my brief time in the Army, I had to get a face full of that stuff, and I advised David to get far away. The problem is, every time he tries to get away from one gas bomb, he hits another tripwire. The helicopter can see the gas clouds now.
Chopper 1 to base 1.
This is base 1, over.
There's a tank on maneuvers in the restricted area. Should I divert him to assist you, sir?
Yeah, send him up here immediately. Out.
Roger and out.
A tank. What does he expect it to do, or do I want to know? But depending on what size tank it is, it might give the Hulk a worthy opponent. He hasn't had one of those for a while. David is finally out of the field of tear gas bombs. And into a field of bunkers full of explosives. The cloud of smoke pouring into his face from one of them is too much.
That's it! That thing I told you about!
Don't kill him. Let's capture him.
Yeah, you have fun with that. As we saw, David was right. The Hulk's super speed metabolism is removing the gas from his system and restoring his sight.
Believe it or not.
But he's getting away, Colonel! I'll wing him!
Now, I got it.
It's a superficial wound that won't slow him down. That's what happens when you reject the more accurate weapon so you can show off your big fancy pistol. Aside from the little trickle of fake blood on his shoulder, it's meaningless and won't really come up again. When he changes back to David, it'll be gone. There's that metabolism again.
Where'd he go?
All right, men, spread out and surround him.
Where is he? Let's get out of here!
That's Hulk talk for, here I am, you wanted something? I think you'll find it over there. Oh, he broke your pistol. He swats the colonel out one side and throws the sergeant out the other. I kept waiting for him to clunk their heads together, but he didn't do it. He tries to run away, but they're not done with him yet. I don't know my 70s tanks very well, but that looks like either a light or medium one. A heavy tank might give him some trouble. This tank, not so much.
Just bent the tube! Flatten him! Run him down!
Yeah, you're welcome to try. Once he gets good footing, it becomes a game.
This can't be happening! Well, it is!
The best thing he can do is put it in either neutral or reverse and hang on.
We've lost the transmission! We've had it! Yeah, tell me about it!
He tore up their entire transmission, making it go backwards. That tank is going nowhere unless it gets a lot of help. And with that barrel bent down, it kind of looks like one of Popeye's goons.
Well, there he goes. All dressed up for his court-martial.
Speaking of goons, the colonel is finished. Considering he was directly responsible for covering up the deaths of 2 soldiers, I doubt he'll get away with a slap on the wrist. Jerry can see, by the way.
You can go home, Lieutenant.
You mean now?
Yes, ma'am. Take a week at least to recuperate at home and come in for a checkup before you report back to duty.
What about you, Major?
Whatever my own court-martial decides. Perhaps they'll allow me to resign.
I hope so.
You can tell your friend he was right about the body's metabolic rate being the key. It led us to the antidote that got you through this.
He told you he knows a lot about metabolism. They don't need to tell him he was right. He already knew it. And besides, he's headed down the road again, so they won't get a chance. The show was still wildly popular, and people couldn't wait for the next season or episode. Kind of like some folks here, wink wink. I'm teasing. I love those kinds of comments. They tell me I'm doing something right. Anyway, I think part of the reason the show was so popular is because it took subjects like chemical warfare and stood up to them face to face, toe to toe. We illustrated how easy it would be for something like a gas to get loose and hurt innocent people. We're also only a few years in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and Gerald Ford is still trying to get the country back on a stable course, so we dealt with corruption and lies in high places. This show was a magnifying glass that showed us the America nobody wanted to talk about, the one with the underside of bad people and bad intentions, whether a small-time protection racket or the United States Army. They didn't have any special friends who were exempt from the glass. I believe some people tuned in to see what David was going to expose this week. How effective was it? That's impossible to measure. Something kept people coming back for 2 more seasons and 4 more movies after this season. But there's no way to tell whether it was the social commentary or Lou Ferrigno breaking stuff. This was Tom Steckschultz's very first, man. I worked so hard to get his name right, and then blew the rest of the line.